Spider-Man is one of the most famous superheroes in the world, created by Marvel Comics. He first appeared in Amazing Fantasy 15 in August 1962, created by Stan Lee and Steve Ditko. In this article, we will explore Spider-Man's origin, powers, historical development, and his evolution in the film industry. The creation of Spider-Man, the real story behind it. Stan Lee and Steve Ditko's concept. In the 1960s, Marvel Comics was experiencing great success. Stan Lee, Marvel's editor and main writer at the time, wanted to create a superhero that young readers could relate to. He asked himself, can an ordinary teenager become a superhero? Inspiration behind Spider-Man. The 1958 movie The Fly and older superheroes like The Shadow inspired the idea. Stan Lee thought of a hero who could walk on walls like a spider. Marvel's boss, Martin Goodman, initially rejected the idea, believing people would dislike a hero based on a spider. However, when Amazing Fantasy 15 became a massive success, Spider-Man quickly became Marvel's most popular character. The story of Peter Parker. How did Spider-Man get his powers? Who is Peter Parker? Peter Parker is an ordinary New York teenager who lives with his Uncle Ben and Aunt May. He is highly intelligent and passionate about science, but often bullied by his peers. The radioactive spider bite and superpowers. One day, Peter goes on a school trip to a science laboratory. There, a radioactive spider bites him, giving him extraordinary abilities. Super strength, far stronger than a normal human. Spider sense, can sense danger before it happens. Wall crawling ability, can stick to any surface like a real spider. Super speed and agility, moves quickly and reacts faster than normal humans. At first, Peter uses his powers to make money. He wins a wrestling match and appears on a television show, becoming overconfident in his new abilities. Uncle Ben's death and the famous lesson. One night, Peter refuses to stop a thief, thinking, it's not my problem. Later, he finds out that the same thief kills Uncle Ben. Heartbroken, Peter realizes his mistake. From that moment, he decides to use his powers for good, following the famous principle. With great power comes great responsibility. The evolution of Spider-Man over time. 1960s to 1970s. Early success. 1963. The Amazing Spider-Man 1 comic was released. Green Goblin, Dr. Octopus, Vulture, Lizard, and Sandman were introduced as his enemies. Gwen Stacy and Mary Jane Watson became important characters. 1980s to 1990s. Dark and dramatic stories. Venom and Carnage were introduced as powerful villains. The Clone Saga featured Peter Parker's clone. Gwen Stacy's death became one of the most tragic moments in comic book history. 2000s and beyond. 2002 to 2007. Spider-Man film trilogy starring Tobey Maguire. 2012 to 2014. The Amazing Spider-Man film starring Andrew Garfield. 2016 to 2023. Spider-Man joins the Marvel Cinematic Universe, MCU, with Tom Holland. Spider-Man's most iconic villains. Spider-Man is known for his legendary enemies, including Green Goblin Norman Osborn, his arch nemesis, Dr. Octopus Otto Octavius, a genius scientist with robotic arms, Venom Eddie Brock, a symbiotic alien with immense power, Sandman, a villain who can transform into sand, Lizard Dr. Curt Connors, a scientist who mutates into a giant lizard, Mysterio, a master of illusions and deception, Kingpin, the crime lord of New York. Spider-Man in the film industry. Spider-Man has appeared in many films. 2002 to 2007. Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man trilogy, directed by Sam Raimi. 2012 to 2014. Andrew Garfield's The Amazing Spider-Man films. 2016 to 2023. Tom Holland's Spider-Man in the MCU. 2018. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, animated film about Miles Morales. 2021. Spider-Man No Way Home, featuring generations of Spider-Man.